Hey everyone, welcome back once again to another class of VM Backup and Application. I'm Manjeet Rawat, your online instructor, and in this class we are going to talk about very important topic of VM Backup and Application. Yes, I'm talking about the backup infrastructure. Guys, before set up any type of backup like file, folder, virtual machine, physical machine, email services, Active Directory, it's mandatory for us. We must need to clear about the concept of proxy, the proxy server that we need to set up to establish our repository. And also you should clear about how many methods we have to establish our repository. So repository is a place where we can store our backup files. So I'm going to give you the complete information about the concept of backup proxy, and also I'll show you the steps how we can configure repository by using our local storage, maybe SAN storage that you establish, and we'll talk about the different types of protocols that require to establish a communication between your storage to the VM backup and application. We are going to follow the each and every topics as per the official content of VM backup and application. So stay tuned with Teach Me Cloud. Definitely you will feel like you are going to add a new technology in your skill, and definitely it will help you to protect your current job, and also you can present yourself to the market as a backup engineer, right? So I'm moving to understand the concept of backup repository and backup proxy. This is really important for us. Only 2 minutes. I need a 2 minute to describe about the gap between backup proxy and repository, and after that I'll show you the practical. Start with the backup proxy, right? As per the name suggests, the meaning of proxy, you can consider it as a mediator, right? So here, let's take an example. I establish one SAN storage, or maybe any kind of Windows based machine that I establish in the environment, or maybe any cloud based platform is also available, right? So for example, this is cloud platform, this is maybe Windows or Linux machine, right? It may be Windows, it may be Linux based computer, and you already establish a type of storage by using SAN. Recently, we successfully installed one VM backup and application using our laptop. So this one is our VM backup server. I'm going to consider it as a VM backup server because we established all the type of the application of VM backup and application on this machine. Apart from this, a number of systems are available, like we established ESXi, one hypervisor or Hyper-V based machine available. We already configured SQL Server. I'm giving you an example, guys. Multiple client based machines are available, and you decided to protect virtual machines which are running in ESXi, or the virtual machines which are available in our hypervisor. You are going to protect tables or file or any type of folders that are available, because you know that VM backup and application allow us to protect and take the backup of each and every data, virtual machines, email services, database services, everything you can protect with the help of this application. What you think about the proxy? So definitely multiple agents are available, and those agents that automatically provided by this application, VM backup and application. So when we take the backup of virtual machines from ESXi or from hypervisor, you want to take the backup of table, so one kind of agent automatically installed to the source machine, and after that we are able to take the backup of VMs, tables, or any other types of file and folder. Now proxy. So proxy can work, or you can also consider it as a data mover, right? So the work of proxy can help us to give us a connection between your VM backup application machine or VM backup server computer to the SAN storage, to the NAS storage, or any type of object based repositories that you are going to create. Then definitely backup proxy work in between two different between backup server and your storage location. The communication between your backup server, VM backup server, and SAN storage, definitely proxy come into the picture. Benefit to set up the proxy. Let's take an example. Benefit to set up the proxy. So whenever we make a communication between our VM backup and SAN storage, we need to configure with the credential. We need to configure with the authentication. So to communicate your SAN storage to Beam Backup, first of all you need to configure proxy for this SAN, and once your SAN is connected successfully with the Beam Backup, then you can create multiple repository to store your different types of data. Is that clear? The location of storage considered as a repository, and the communication between your storage provider to the Beam Backup considered as a proxy server. So this is the actual gap between the backup proxy and repository. I'm going to show you both the options are available in Beam Backup and Replication. Whenever we install our Beam Backup and Replication to our on-premises machine, when we open the page of Beam Backup and Application, it will guide us about the option. It will show us the option about repositories and the proxy that you can configure. So what you need to do, by default it's look like this, because recently I installed Beam Backup and Application using my VMware workstation using Windows Server 2022 virtual machine. So let's open the same page, go to the backup infrastructure, and in the backup infrastructure multiple options are available, like the backup proxies and backup repository, and external repositories are also available. So talk about the backup repository. I'm going to use my base machine as a storage providers. This is my base machine, and I want to identify how much space are available in my base machine's hard drive. So these are all partitions that I created in my base machine. So let me sync some space and create one dedicated space for to store our data. All data 236 GB, virtual machine 234 GB, and software 97 GB. So we have a multiple partitions that I have already created. Let me check the available space in these drives. So I think we are able to create one repository for D drive, because in D drive we can find we are able to find 1.109 GB of free hard disk space. So the remaining space I'm going to use as a backup repository. Okay, and IP address of my base machine, because that required to set up proxy between your base machine or any physical server to the Beam Backup and Application. You need to provide IP address and also credential. So current IP address that I'm getting on my base machine is 192.168.1.50. I will use same IP address to establish our repository. So please right click on our backup repository, and it gives us option to connect with add backup proxy, add VMware backup proxy. You can set up with CDP proxy and hypervisor proxy as well. Let me proceed with the first one, because we establish a physical computer. So I'm going to use physical machine to set up a proxy. Add new, and it will ask you please provide the IP address of your proxy server. 192.168.1.50. This is the IP address of my base machine. Definitely I want to you have to manage the credentials. So add username that I'm currently using, which is Manjeet Rawat, and password. You also need to provide the password and save it. Click OK and try to create proxy. It is trying to communicate with your base machine, because in the base machine will create a shared folder by using NAS or SMB protocol. Will share the folder, and same folder will use to create our backup repository. It is trying to communicate, and make sure you are going to provide a correct user ID and password. So it will take time. Make sure both machines are able to communicate to each other. Bridge connection. I'm going to check communication. This is important because we are using local area network. So both machines must be communicate to each other. Ping space 192.168.1.50, right? And make sure both the systems must be communicate. RTO ncpa.cpl to check the IP address. Unidentified network 1.10 1. I'm going to configure like that. Let me put it on automatic. Okay, fine. Now we are able to communicate. Let's go back and try to click next again, because you know that without communication we are not able to establish a proxy. Guys, to set up our proxy with Veeam Backup and Application, make sure you must need to log in your base machine with the help of local administrator. And after that, only the local administrator password you need to provide while set up our proxy from the Veeam Backup. So what I did, I just added Veeam the base machine's local administrator username and password. And now let's proceed with next. It will automatically install one kind of agent which is considered as a transport agent, and the responsibility of this particular agent can make a communication between your Veeam backup application and the base machine that you can easily set up the proxy. And this is first step everyone need to perform the task and create while set up a proxy repository. It's mandatory you need to configure the proxies because it will provide you more option to protect your shared storage, right? So mandatory things, you must need to configure the backup proxies, and once your proxies are ready to use, you can move to the backup repository. So I'm going to show you the steps how we can set up the backup repositories as well. Please proceed with next and finish. Everything is okay, click next and proceed, apply. This is the final step that we can use to establish our backup repository, backup proxies. And once we ready with that point, we'll move to the repository part. Now fine, so one repository, one proxy is ready to use. You can see the proxy properties and whatever type of rule that you want to configure, any type of network traffic rule that you want to configure, everything you can manage. So we will talk later one by one. For now, let me show you the options which are available in repository. So right click on your backup repository, click on add storage backup repository, and it will provide us a multiple option. You can set up repository using direct attached storage. You can manage network attached storage and also use a specific hardware, right? And with the help of specific hardware, we can establish our infrastructure for the backup repository. Last option is the object storage. The meaning of object storage is directly associated, right? The meaning of backup object repository, you can directly connect to your storage account that is established over a cloud like Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. You know that blob services are available over Azure portal, so you can use both the options to establish your repository. For now, let me check with the NAS, network attached storage, and both options are available. You can connect with the help of NFS protocol and also SMB protocol. Both the protocols allow us to establish our repository. So I'm going back to the base machine, create one folder and share your folder with the full permission. Folder name may be SAN. I'm going to use the name of our shared folder SAN storage advanced, and share this folder. Go to the permission and let me make it applicable for everyone for testing purpose, and copy the path. This is the path. You can also use the name IP address of this server. Going back to the same page, right click on repository and click on add repository, NFS network attached storage, and backup repo, right? So this is the name that I'm going to use. It will ask you please provide the path /192.168.1.50/SAN is our shared folder, so please provide the shared folder. This is the path that I'm going to provide, the computer name and the shared folder. And let me choose the repository, the proxy that we added, and proceed with next, connecting with server. Proxy we have already established, so that's why no need to provide your user ID and password again and again. Please proceed with next. Now everything is okay, next and create. Next and finish. So guys, we successfully created one repository with name of backup repo, and with the help of this backup repository we are able to find up to 109 GB space available. Whatever type of backup that you are going to configure, you can use this particular space to store your file, folder, virtual machine and everything. So I hope everyone okay with these two different points. We are going to talk more about these 2 points. in next class, definitely we'll talk about the properties, the options which are available in the properties of backup proxy, and also we'll discuss about the different way to establish proxy. Please do subscribe here on Teach Me Cloud YouTube channel. We are going to connect soon and discuss more about the VM backup and application. Stay tuned to subscribe.